Hi, Scrappy friends. Welcome to the SpiegelMom Scraps YouTube channel today. And it's Hannah with you. And I am working on a traveler's notebook spread that is inspired by the lovely Jen Gagne. I'm probably not saying her name right. But I'll make sure I have her links below. This week we are scrap lifting her, and let me tell you, I had a really hard time. But I thought so there's a layout at the beginning, and that is what I used kind of like as my inspiration. And so I'm just kind of figuring out what I want to do. I have a decent sized photo that is gonna be going on one of the sides. So in her layout, she uses a huge photo, and I had thought about using a bigger photo, but I don't know. This was one of the things that inspired me. And one of the things that inspired me by looking at her layout was the fact that it was very naturey and it had this feel to it. So I kind of wanted to go more with that thought process with this than just making a layout that is exactly like that. So one of the things that I like about scrap lifting is that there really are no rules. And sometimes you can be more inspired by the feel of a layout, the pictures, what is the theme, like there it's a picture of them walking outside in like almost like a field of like tall grass, and so you feel that naturey feel. And with this photo that I have, it's very naturey because it's a pile of white pumpkins, and this is from last fall. And so I'm kind of going more with that feel, and then I'm just gonna kind of use her basic design and go with that. So this is not going to look anything like her spread. And that's okay, because in the end, I think sometimes just trying something different is what the goal is, right? And one of the things that I noticed when I was looking through her Instagram feed was that she uses tons of color, which you would think that would be really easy, but I actually went really, really soft with this and use some of the same colors and that feel throughout my layout with some of the papers that I used. And I am using the September Click kit. I still have a ton of it left, and it is very fall themed as far as like the colors and everything. They're really muted. But then I also grabbed some paper from the Maggie Home 6x8, which is a really fun size, and it works really well for traveler's notebooks because it's not a full-size page. And yeah, so it fits the one way. But I did kind of flip this too. So, and as you can see, I have some doilies from the store. I'm not sure how much of that kind of stuff is left. I know Jody is going to be getting rid of some of the cork stuff and the felt stuff and some of these glassine bags and the tags. So I'll link to what there is, but this is stuff that I had from my stash from her store that I've bought in the past. So I wanted to use a lot of it, and I really like the way the cork feels with this kit, with the other stuff that I added, because I'm going to add those freckled fawn puffy border strip things too as well. And I just really like how this came together. It just flowed so well with just using a really basic design. She has this kind of almost like an L shaped with her photo, and then it jets out at the bottom, but then up at the top she has a little cluster. She also had a cluster kind of in the middle, which I'm taking as like my title, part of my title that goes down on, you'll see it as it goes through. is kind of in that same place. So I didn't, like I said, this isn't an exact scrap lift. I mean, obvious because I didn't use a big photo like she did, but um, like I said, I think sometimes just using an inspiration and kind of a feel that you get from a designer and a scrapbooker is sometimes that's just the jumping off point that you need to come up with something amazing. And so I really love how this turned out. And it's just, and it was really nice and simple. This is the one thing that I like about Traveler's Notebook pages is that they come together pretty well. I mean, you don't have that much space. So sometimes that makes it more difficult because you got to see what you can fit. But by adding this tag, I have a place for journaling. And by adding the layers to the tag, it just kind of ties everything together and it's so nice and fun. I will say that my pages don't have, the pictures don't have my journaling on there because I just haven't gotten to it. And there's not really a whole lot to say except for I took a ton of photos when we went to the pumpkin patch and I absolutely love them because I mean, these big bins of pumpkins and squash and gourds and oh my gosh, and all the colors were so amazing. But there's just something about these white little pumpkins that I absolutely love. So, yeah, they're just gorgeous, right? It makes me excited to go back this year, which is why I want to scrap it. I want to remember this stuff because what if we go back to Texas next? Like we're an Army family, we move around, and I really want my kids to be able to see these pictures and remember different parts of what we experienced because we have experienced so many different things. And this is the first year that they'll remember, or the first couple of years that they'll remember actually experiencing fall in its entirety. I mean, when we were in Texas, it's hot. It's not really fall until winter time. And it's not really fall. So, yeah. But and using like a kit or whatever really helped also make this come together. So now I'm just figuring out where I want to put the sequins, and I decided to use the Blues Travelers. They're an older collection from the summer. But it's really perfect because it has these darker shades of blue, but it also has pops of yellow and like this orangey red color, which I thought worked really well just by adding just a little pop of color in there. It was just really nice and fun. So this is what I came up with. Make sure you check out the links below because you'll find links to the store and to Jen's Instagram so you can see the stuff that she's creating. I know she's the designer over at Wild Whisper, and so she does some really fun stuff. And here it is. Have a great week, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.